Hey guys, so welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. This is it. It's class trial time. One of these people killed our beloved Byakuya. Well, beloved's kind of a loose term. Anyway, let's see what everyone has to say before we head on into the secret lair of Monokuma. Byakuya, blah, blah, blah. Man, she's always frothing at the mouth. It's crazy.
Well?
In RPG video games, it is common for secret areas to be underground. Comparing our situation to a video game.
So annoying.
Jeez, how boring.
You!
Whatever, let's go inside already. Someone's eager. Eager beaver. I don't give a flying fuck if that fat pig is dead. Who fucking cares, seriously? I've got my theories. Again, I'll voice them.
Be happy!
Once we get down to trial prep. I'm assuming this trial prep. Be happy! You humans have been spared. Is it because you found your earring? The hellhound earring.
This is the worst.
We gotta find the killer. If we don't, we're the ones who are gonna get killed. Nomi? Are you with us? No answer. Nikito. You were wondering about Gundam 2, right? You too, huh? Wondering what? Oh, about the earring, I'm assuming.
Why?
This is definitely strange. Why is this happening? Why? Why do we have to find the killer? Because we'll die if we don't, Mikan. Okay? Peko, are you doing okay? You looked like you weren't feeling too well earlier.
No.
Don't worry about it. I appreciate your concern. However, there are other things we should be focusing on. She did take some food.
Damn
away,
it!
So, could be that. I don't want to go. Is there any way I can run away from this? Okay. I wish I could.
That is...
A huge organization. So, my kingdom has been cast in doubt. However, I do not think my government would participate in something like this. Yeah, I mean, she's a princess, right?
That's weird.
People would be looking all over her if this were taking place in normal times. What happened, Hajime? Are you scared? Seriously, you're such a wuss. I can't deal with Hyoko, seriously. Let's stop this bad joke. Why don't we have dinner instead? And Nekomaru. This is our battle to avenge Byakuya, but I feel quite disheartened. Yeah. Oh, there's no way I can run away. Sorry, I actually tried to leave the area for some reason. Oh my god, it's in its mouth? How the hell do we get up there? What the? Something's shaking. This is dangerous. Everyone, please get down. What the hell? Something came out.
No way.
Could it be? Is he telling us to enter it?
What?
Such a suspicious aura. Even Crimson Steel Elephant Magazi is trembling with fear.
Oh!
That's so totally suspicious.
Hey!
Forgive me. Seriously, just forgive me already. Hey, why don't we just stop here? I mean, none of this is real anyway. Like, not even remotely.
No way!
There's no way. There's just no way we'll find the killer.
Stupid!
Complaining won't get us anywhere. If you're really a man, then man up for God's sake. We've come this far. We have no choice but to keep moving forward. You're right. There's nowhere for us to run. We need to do it. If that's everyone's decision, I'll just follow you guys.
Yep.
If this were a video game, it'd have a very high difficulty level. Let's do our best to clear the game. Yeah, we'll try. We are on the hardest. Is that camera really hanging from palm leaves? Shaking with fear and nervousness, I hesitantly lifted my feet and stepped onto the escalator. I won't think anymore. If I think, I'll run away. All I could do was stare upward intensely as the escalator carried me. And when each of us entered Monokuma Rock, whoa. Jeez. What? Huh? This is an elevator. I see. This entire rock is an elevator. Once again, Monokuma is doing what he pleases.
However,
if he's gone this far and made something like this. I don't think he's playing around. Even so, we're going pretty deep. You're right. I heard an unnerving chattering sound inside my head. I soon realized it was the sound of my teeth. All I could do was press my lips tightly so everyone else couldn't hear it. Oh man, the elevator's never going to be this full again. It is a long way down. There we were, listening to the unpleasant roars as the elevator plunged deeper and deeper into the earth. Some time passed before the elevator finally finished descending, and then the elevator door slowly opened. Ooh.
Welcome!
Okay, welcome! Ta-da! This is the class trial field. How do you like it? It's a special place that will decide your fates.
Why, you...
What the hell is he thinking? Locking us in a shitty looking place like this.
Don't fuck with me!
Are you fucking crazy? Don't mess with me, asshole. See, he swears a lot, doesn't he? It's like to make up for something. Complain all you like. I'm used to it by now. Come on, you're wasting your time and energy. Hurry up and take your seats where your names are written. It looks like everyone knows. Even if we try to resist, it won't change a thing. Just as Monokuma ordered, we walked toward the seats we had been assigned. From this point on, we need to find out who killed Byakuya. The ultimate affluent progeny, Byakuya Togami. He was overly critical, arrogant, and condescending, but he also had a strong sense of responsibility. As we were panicking, he accepted his role as leader and he tried his very best to keep us together. A guy like him got murdered. The person who did it is one of us? I can't believe it. There's no way I can believe it. But if it's really true, we need to find out by any means possible, because that's our only option. There is no way for us to survive unless we sacrifice the killer. And so, this life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair has begun. A deadly judgment. A deadly class trial. Alright, here we are. Byakuya Togami was killed. The blue hue of our vacation is now a crimson red. Is the killer really one of us? Or is it someone else? The class trial starts now. Okay, I can change difficulty if I want to, but I think we have to commit. We have to commit to me. Let's set our skills. I have committed one skill. Open e-handbook, because we could buy some more right now. I'm going to take a moment to go through each of the skills and sort of pick what I want. So this might take a while, so I'll probably edit this part out. Be right back. Alright, so I've purchased a couple of skills here. Not too much. I've saved some of my hope fragments for a later date. We've got Attentive Influence. Slightly increases the influence gauge. Just because, you know, I'm covering my bases. I've also got Lost in Thought. Increases the time limit because I know things are going to get hard. We've got Cool and Compose. Steadies your aim. And I think that's it for now. But we'll see what else we've got. Alright, also, we need to go over our truth bullets. So let's do that as well. I think we've got a total of unknown, so let's go through one by one. Monokuma file number 1. The victim's body was discovered in the dining hall of the old building near the Hotel Mirai. The estimated time of death is 11:30 p.m. The victim was repeatedly stabbed over 10 times between the throat and abdominal region, resulting in death. Aside from that, the body has no external injuries and no chemicals such as poison were detected. The body under the table is face down as if Byakuya were reaching for something. What was it? Was it this knife, perhaps? Bloodstained knife found under the table where the body was discovered. A glowing paint-like substance coats it. Bloodstain under the table. A pool of blood formed around the body underneath the table. A lot of blood was splattered against the inside of the tablecloth. Also, there was no sign that the body was dragged through the bloodstain. Gaps in floorboard. The floors in the dining hall were full of gaps. Gundam dropped one of his earrings through these gaps. AC timer. The AC timer in the dining hall was set to 11:30 p.m. The AC timer in the office was also set to 11:30 p.m., which is when the blackout occurred, by the way. Night vision goggles found under the table where the body was discovered. Apparently it came from the supermarket. Embarrassing pose. During the blackout, Mikan tripped and fell in the dining hall. By the time the lights came back on, she ended up in a compromising position. I don't know how that's gonna come in handy. Duralumin case, the case Byakuya had with him. There's a lot of security equipment inside and a hard plastic case as well. The key to the other Duralumin case is inside here too. Ibuki's account. During the blackout, Ibuki was able to discern all the noise people were making. Mahiru. Wow, it's a blackout. Kazuichi. Hey, I can't see anything. Ibuki. It's pitch black. My future is pitch black. Mahiru. Everyone, calm down. We gotta stay calm in a situation like this. Hiyoko. What? Don't step on my feet. Byakuya. What the hell? What's going on here? This is... Nagito. Ow. Akane, turn the damn lights on. I can't eat like this, you know. Teru. You guys? Where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen? Sonia, perhaps the breaker overloaded. Kazuichi, hold on a sec. I'll go along the wall and do something about it. Interesting. A lot of comments were made. Irons in storage room. There were 3 irons placed inside the storage room. When Nagito found them, they were all turned on. Storage room tablecloth. A blood-stained tablecloth was found randomly stuffed inside the laundry hamper. What the hell? Teru's account. The gas stove in the kitchen is powered by electricity. That's why Teru couldn't use it during the blackout. Party dishes. Teru poured his heart and soul into cooking various party dishes. However, Akane and Pekka were the only ones who ate them. But Byakuya did too. But I don't know. Anyway, fire door. If a fire breaks out, the fire door in the hallway of the old building can be shut to keep the fire from spreading. Kitchen equipment list. The knife found at the crime scene was not included on the kitchen's equipment list. All the dangerous equipment that could be a potential weapon was confiscated by Byakuya. Apparently, there's an iron plate for barbecue and a portable stove for cooking hot pots. Chiaki's account. When Chiaki was standing guard outside, Fuyuhiko apparently came to the old building, then walked away. Murder threat. A threatening letter was found inside Byakuya's room. Be careful. The first kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone. The author of this letter is unknown. Kazuichi's account. During the search for Byakuya after the blackout, Kazuichi headed straight to the office. He didn't see anyone there, including Pekko. Mikan's autopsy results. According to Mikan's autopsy, Byakuya sustained several puncture wounds to his chest and abdomen. The wounds were inflicted by a thin, sharp weapon, roughly 5mm in diameter. Nekomaru's account. Nekomaru kept trying to use the bathroom since before the party started, but someone was using it the whole time. He was able to enter the bathroom after Byakuya's body was discovered. I'm pretty sure we discovered his body and still couldn't get inside, so I don't know what the story is there. But that's all our truth bullets. That's it. No more procrastinating, no more stalling. We have to go through with this. Come on, Byakuya. I'm going to avenge you. Don't you worry, my friend. Proceed? Yes.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Oh, it's all familiar. Oh, Monobis.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
There's 15 of us. That's 14 suspects. I didn't even go over my suspects. Well, just really briefly, I've got Kazuichi on my radar, I've got Teru on my radar, and I've got Nekomaru on my radar. Okay? Those 3.
Such a cruel rule!
I don't think Fuyuhiko could have done it because you can't get underneath the floorboards from outside, and I don't believe he ever entered the building.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Also, I think Kazuichi's the only person who left the room during the blackout. If everyone else was still there, then they kind of have an alibi, because I think only Byakuya could only have been stabbed from beneath the floorboards.
Most definitely! There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you!
Nagita's clinging on to hope here.
Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry.
Is Teru tall enough to stab through the floorboards?
I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate Monami, of course.
Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's continue.
You hate me that much?
Now, let's begin!
You're telling us to begin, but what are we supposed to do?
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fists.
Were you even listening to the rules? Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall, huh? Then everyone there is a fucking suspect.
Yeah, what you're really trying to say is that you're not the killer, right?
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Man's got a point.
Huh? What does that mean?
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds?
Huh. The most pressing issue on our minds?
Where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath a table.
Exactly, especially during a blackout.
Then, let's start with that mystery.
The reason why Byakuya's body was discovered under the dining hall table? We can start with that. But ultimately, we need to find out who murdered him. All things have a proper order, Hajime. If we can't do that... No. Thinking about it is a waste of time. We have to do this, no matter what. So the class trial has finally started. From this point on, I'll provide simple tutorials at every important moment. I'm sorry, but please excuse my ear-tainting rudeness. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, all of your classmates will speak one after the other, without any breaks. It's up to you to reveal any lies or mistakes contained within their statements. This means you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Out of all the truth bullets you find during your investigation, only the relevant ones will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to remove the reticle, and then fire with the left mouse button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and choose your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. This familiar soundtrack. 3 bullets because we're playing on mean here. Gaps in the floorboard, knife, bloodstain under the table.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
Correct.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Huh? Why? Obviously by hiding the body. They tried to delay its discovery! Like a dog burying a bone!
Okay, sure. Huh? What he just said was strange. Clearly contradicts the information I know. Okay.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
Well, there's only one statement we can refute. Now I just need to make sure I choose the right bullet. Obviously, this is different now because it's on mean. I've got 3 bullets. Normally, this would just be 1, and it'll be simple, straightforward, done. But we've got the knife. Let's say knife found under the table where the body was discovered. We've got the bloodstain under the table against the inside of the tablecloth. Right, so that's the proof that he was killed, you know, under the table. He wasn't dragged there.
His body was underneath at the very back of the...
After the killer murdered, they probably moved the body there.
No,
No, that's wrong.
he died under there. Alright. Okay, usually I always screw up the first statement of a trial. This feels
No,
good.
I don't think the killer moved the body.
Huh? Why?
Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table.
Not to mention, it's like moving Hifumi from the first floor to the 3rd floor in the first game.
Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Thank you.
Oh, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
It's alright, man. We're working together.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
She's such a little imp.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
I know he was killed under the table.
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
There's still so many unanswered questions regarding some of my truth bullets.
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's gonna be very hard considering where he started from.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
We need to think about that knife under the table. Whose was it? Where'd it come from? The reason Byakuya dove under the table. If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably... What? Where do I begin? If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably... the knife?
I can prove it with this! It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Phew, okay. Yeah, he knew it was there.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am the murder weapon!
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there.
But how? The tablecloth would have covered it, right?
So in order to get it, he moved under the table.
Unless he could see it through the tablecloth because it was glowing, right?
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility.
Man, whoever did this murder is freaking infinitely clever than Leon ever was.
But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No way.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Considering you were never in the dining hall at the time.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
Oh.
This is almost like a real trial!
Isn't that what you want? During the previous statement, there was only one weak spot. But from this point on, there will be various weak spots standing in your way. No matter how many weak spots there will be only one lie or contradiction in the debate at a time. This means there will be false weak spots. If you shoot a false weak spot with a truth bullet, not only will you fail to refute what was said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. If your influence gauge reaches 0, you will fail, so please be extra careful. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or mistakes. Also, if you concentrate by holding down the space key, you can progress the argument slowly. Please use it whenever you feel like the statements are moving too fast for you to aim. However, this does consume the focus gauge, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun! Here we go. Alright. Things are gonna get harder from here. Knife, bloodstain on the table, gaps in the floorboard, AC timer, night vision goggles! Oh boy.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table. During the blackout.
That sounds correct.
Okay.
If that's the case... During the blackout, Mr. Ham Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black!
It'll be this.
It was so dark I couldn't see my food. Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
That's the one I'm gonna shoot.
I doubt he could have seen the killer.
Sorry, I'll explain again. I'll let the debate run through before I choose a statement to shoot, just so we can hear what everyone has to say. It's true, getting under that table during the blackout would have been nearly impossible, but... Man, we only have 4 minutes 12 to
I'm
get this
sure
right.
Byakuya ducked under during the black... That sounds correct.
If that's the case, during the blackout,
You could
must
see
have
with
seen
this.
the killer.
But it was super pitch...
It was so dark I couldn't see my food. Byakuya couldn't see in the dark.
No, that's wrong!
He totally could.
No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
But how the hell did someone manage to stab him in the dark?
Why do you say that?
Unless you had a portable gas stove or something, right?
If he was using those night vision goggles we found under the table, he could have seen what was happening.
It's on the manifest, it explicitly mentioned it. Maybe that was used as a lantern or something?
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Not to mention, if you were under the floorboards, you could still make it seem like your voice is still in the dining hall, right? Because you're directly underneath it. It's just gonna sound a bit weird, but it'll still sound like you're in the room with them. You're just underneath, right?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Maybe Teru Teru, then?
Your reasoning is out of focus.
Whoa. Excuse me?
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
You're saying the killer had the night vision goggles.
The other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
Ooh, this is different. Were you surprised by Mahiru's sudden argument? Yes, I was. She's very feisty. Just between you and me, I was also surprised. Just kidding, I'm sorry. Now then, when this kind of argument surfaces, you'll go into a one-on-one debate called Rebuttal Showdown. In this mode, you have to counter the other person's claim, draw out their weak spots, and argue against them. Please counter the other person's remarks with the WASD keys. Based on the shape of their remarks, it is important to know whether to cut vertically, sideways, or diagonally. What? And based on that, you can skew the debate's mood to your advantage. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, it will skew towards their advantage. In the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, a number that shows the sharpness of your counter is displayed. This is the number of times you can cut remarks during one round of the debate. You will lose counts of sharpness even if you miss, so please be very careful. When the mood skews towards your advantage for a certain length of time, the other party's argument changes. This means the conversation will develop. Oh man, what the hell is this? If that happens, they'll end up divulging some weak spots. However, you cannot normally cut remarks that contain weak spots. Instead, it will skew the mood toward the other party's advantage. Plus, it's going to be very big. Just like a regular debate, please refute any weak spots with the left mouse button. Of course, if you don't have the correct truth blade, you will not be able to cut an opponent's truth remark. Huh? What's a truth blade? I'm terribly sorry. It appears there has been a delay in contacting you. I will make sure the person in charge of contacting you takes a very long vacation. In this mode, truth bullets will be called truth blades. That's about it. There won't be any other changes to your handbook menu. Only the name was changed, but don't you think a change in feeling is important? If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. I'm gonna have to see how this plays out. I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. What the fudge? Rebuttal Showdown. Knife, duralumin case, irons in storage room. Okay.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Damn it!
I can't just listen to what she's saying. I also need to respond. Okay.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I have no idea how to use this thing. What the hell?
Damn it!
I can't just listen to what she's saying. I also need to respond.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision. That's gotta be it.
Right.
I can't back down!
Okay, what? I have no idea. But I think I know. Just a little bit more and I can draw something out.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision. That's gotta be it.
Right. Okay, I just gotta slash through all of her
Where's your
statements.
proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Ah! I've got no idea. Found a hole in your argument. I'm sure Byakuya brought the night vision goggles. I need to refute my hero's claim with evidence.
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality. So those goggles were planned. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Is that what I'm doing? I have no idea. This is worse than the bullet time battles. I found a hole in your argument. I'm sure Byakuya brought the night vision goggles. I need to refute my hero's claim with evidence.
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
No, it's this one.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Okay, I'm getting it slowly but surely. I'm so sorry. It's gonna take me a while.
No,
to get used to that.
Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
So first I need to slash through all her statements and then I can finally hit her with the truth bullet. It's sort of like the bullet time battle where at the very end I get to fire the truth bullet at them. Okay, got it.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party.
Oh, that's gonna be tough in the future, isn't it?
We found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Exactly.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that duralumin case as well.
They were property of the Togami heir.
Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the
God.
only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case,
He's
since he
the one
was
with the
carrying
key.
it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's what you would have known if you investigated.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
No, it must have been duct taped.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Ew! You totally mean that in a perverted way.
You know it. The knife was brought in the Duralumin case along with the night vision goggles too? No, that's not possible. The knife was hidden in the dining hall before the party even started. I should be able to prove it.
I see!
There's paint on the duct tape as well.
There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
I see you there, Monokuma, just giggling.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid?
He had a threat.
Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
He was prepared for anything.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
Almost anything anyway.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
I don't know. He had a point. Look what happened.
He probably knew. Someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
Well, it's gone now.
You think so too, right, Hajime?
Yeah, he totally had the all-seeing eye. That's right. Byakuya probably knew there was a possibility that a murder would occur. After all, someone wrote him a nice little note.
I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Man, I'm on edge. I've got to, like, stay 100% focused. Be careful. The first kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone.
Hey, the hell is this?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage.
It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies.
It doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
What do you mean?
I mean, he couldn't keep it up forever, right?
By
Letting kill during
gathering
the party
everyone in one place,
would happen
he
another
tried to
time.
create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
Sick prank.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
I mean, when you're in this kind of situation, I would take that as seriously as a bomb joke at an airport.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
You should have at least confided in someone.
I see.
One person.
Strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
Killer? Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one who killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
But I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya? There's no way I can believe that yet.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles.
Do tell.
If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The portable stove, right? Oops, wrong one. Where's that kitchen manifest? Portable stove for cooking hot pots. Gas stove in the kitchen's powered by electricity because you could use a stove to light something in the blackout, right? Is that what I'm thinking? Is that correct? I don't know.
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles.
They obviously had to have a portable light source somehow.
But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
That knife, right? It is covered with blood. But it might be just because it was on the ground where Byakuya is, see? And it might have just soaked it all up. Is the knife really the murder weapon? We just know he was stabbed by something that was within, what, like 5mm in diameter? Yeah, roughly 5mm in diameter. Could that missing skewer be... with the skewer, maybe it was missing because it had fallen down in between the floorboards and maybe someone picked it up? I don't know. Was this an opportunistic murder or a planned one? Well, if we go by the assumption that the killer placed that knife there, it's premeditated, right? No, the killer definitely used a mark. Because of this mark, the killer was able to get the knife from under the table into his hands.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
But where does that tablecloth come in?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
Was it used as like an umbrella, sort of, when they stabbed Byakuya? The blood would have dripped all over them, so they used the tablecloth to shield themselves from the blood, maybe?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
My mind's going crazy again, isn't it?
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark.
My imagination running wild.
Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
You'd suspect so.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker.
Hang on, what if... No, but Akane didn't get sick, but then Peko did. And that would give Teruteru an opportunity to get Peko out of the office, right? Because he would have poisoned the food.
Which means it was you, Pekoyama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
I am not the killer.
I don't think you are either, don't worry.
Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
That's what she said.
But with Peko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
Yeah, and if it is Teruteru, how the hell could he reach the circuit breaker, you know?
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
Who could have caused the blackout? You can't even reach it with a stepladder, supposedly. By tripping the breaker directly from the office, Peko was the one who caused the blackout. What if they didn't trip the circuit breaker manually? What if it's to do with the ACs going on at the same time? Could that, like, cause a power overload or something?